until I realized I was bottoming out, motherfucker. And I'm not, like, endowed beyond all belief. I'm a respectable, I would say, 6. All right? I should not be bottoming out and still have at least an inch and a half to go.
Well, that's good, right? It means that it obviously hasn't been used that much and whatever. And yes, giggly, whatever. How are the boobs?
Okay, they were there. Obviously, you can tell just by looking at her. But I'm not a big fan of big nipples. And holy fuck,
they're big.
You could have decorated a pizza.
But are you talking fucking like that?
Well, not huge, but they were like
okay, a little larger than normal.
Yeah,
because I was kind of curious.
Comparable to a slice of pepperoni.
Yeah, but dude, the grinder, the sit on and go back and forth. This chick was smoking hot, right?
Right.
I got lucky a while ago with a chick that I worked with when I was managing a bar downtown, right? Mm-hmm. Chantel, right? And she's not a black girl. She's a white girl named Chantel, right? Which most people went, let me guess, she's black. And I was like, no, she's white. She was super cool. She was a little...
Same thing with Tylene. Everybody thought she was black. No, right? She's the whitest emo chick you'll ever meet.
She was a little thicker than normal. I normally like 5'3", 105 pounds, whatever. I like to be able to have this conversation with y'all with her plugged in and walk her over to this and...
just plop her on the counter. Just keep going while you're ringing people up. Just fucking...
This broad, out of nowhere, just, my manager, he's so cool and he's so neat and whatever. And I went... Cool, right? I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy to work for. Just do your fucking job, right? Do your job. Everything will be cool. She brings her friends and, they're going to come up to the bar. And I was like, cool, just make sure you keep doing your job and whatever. And they're like, my manager, we're going to go out and have drinks after. We go have drinks. We go hang out. I end up randomly hooking up with one of her friends. Now, mind you, I'm being Mr. Nice Manager guy. So I'm being cool. I'm talking to him. We have a good time. Out of nowhere, just, hey, let's go back to my place and have drinks. Cool. She goes over here and does something in the other room. Her friend just grabs me. Cool. I'm like, fucking cool. Do you want to wait for her to go to bed or whatever? So crank her, right? The next day, she calls me, Jake, did you sleep with my friend? I was like, yeah, dude, she was all over me. What the hell? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so I messed with your friend, right? Dude, every time she brought girlfriends out, I ended up hooking up with one of her friends. And not mildly hooking up, like completely cranking, right? So this super hot one, it's weird because I've seen her out with her before. And she was like, hey, let's go. My buddy was managing the Playhouse strip club down there. So we go there, haven't messed with this chick, whatever. She's smoking hot, like smoking hot out of my league smoking hot. And I was like, man. And I've already cranked like 4 or 5 of her friends. And she was like, Jake, don't you? And I was like, have you noticed me hit on any of your friends? I can't help it. Your friends are hookers, right? I'm just gonna. I mean, what am I? I would be remiss to say no. So in the process, I'm like, okay. We're hanging out. We're at the strip club. We're drinking, doing this and this. And she was like, dude, this is neat, whatever. And she was like, I kind of like girls a little bit too. And I was like, which one of you doesn't, right? Yeah. So I did know that the bartender, who's a friend of ours, is Lee, and she's lesbian. Like, when I tell you she likes ladies, she likes the ladies. Right. So I was like, Lee. So I flipped her a fat tip, and I was like, can you show her the girls' restroom, whatever? And I was like, Lee, she really likes chicks, whatever, blah, blah. She was like, your bartender's cute. And I was like, just go back there and mess with her and see if she's really BSing or not. Or have fun. I don't know. Do whatever it is you ladies do. So she takes her in the back or whatever. She comes out like, did you have anything to do with that? And I was like, whatever would you mean? Right. And of course they messed around and whatever. And so she's like, oh my God. She's like, who are you? And I was like, I don't know. You said you like whatever. She's my friend. Chantel's my friend. You're her friend, right? I think somewhere there's a triangle of friends. So I want you to have a good time, eh? So she does whatever. And I was like, so we're going back to Chantel's house. So we drive back. Now, mind you, her and I, it wasn't like we were... If anything, I thought, maybe she really likes chicks. So we go back to Chantel's house, and we get there, walk in. Now, mind you, we're having some drinks. Again, Chantel walks in the other room. She's on one couch, and I'm on the other. And we're talking, just kind of chilling. She's like, hey, what are you doing over there, whatever? And I was like, chilling, bro, whatever. Can I bring me that blanket? And I was like, cool. So I grab the blanket. I walk over. She grabs my hand. Boom. We start going at it, right? And when I tell you hot, I'm like, I'm almost giggling because I'm like, whoever saw this coming? So I'm like, cool, blah, blah, blah. We're going at it and, we're doing this. She blows me, does whatever. She flips around, grabs, she was like, do you have a condom? And I was like, yeah, I'm sure, right? It was like, you kind of waited right until like, and I'm like, yeah. And I go,
grab the nearest Snickers.
I look at
wrapper.
them like, fuck, they're in my car. I always keep a secret stash in my center console.
So you
right?
walk out with a boner.
So yeah, I had to put clothes back on, right? So I'm naked. So I have like a wife beater. I put on a wife beater and boxers, and I'm, walk around like this. I'm like, oh. So I run up. I'm wasted, and I'm really excited about what's happening. It's fucking freezing. So I go out, grab a condom, do whatever, come in. And I'm like, oh no, you don't, right? So I fucking go down on her, do whatever, this and that. We're cranking away like champs, right? And it was great sex, and she's incredibly hot. I'm happy. I can play. It's like getting called up from the minor leagues, right? And you've been playing baseball your whole life. This guy throws some heat, right? Everyone out there could catch anything within 1 foot of him. I got to get like 6 inches away from him. I'm like, oh. So we crank and do whatever, and I'm like, and it's weird because now I'm getting confidence, right? Because I'm seeing her. She's digging her shoulders in my fucking, or digging her nails in my shoulders. Eyes are rolling back in the head. I've gone down on her. I've done whatever. I've messed with the G-spot. I've done I was everything but the kitchen sink, right? I got this. On the off chance, if this happened once, if I could ever make this happen again, I'm my own best friend and hero. So we're going at it, and I'm like, so now I'm talking shit. Now I'm like, man, this, I was like, so if I was like, well, when I come or whatever, I was like, can I pull out and whatever? And she was like, well, yeah, what? You want to come on my stomach? And I was like, well, I mean, yes. Let me preface this by saying, yes, I would like to come on you, right? It's kind of my thing. I kind of wake up and go, oh, let's have breakfast. And I know I'm going to work until 9. And I want to come on something, right? That's kind of how my day begins. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, if that's cool. I'm like, well, that's good. And she was like, good? And meanwhile, she's on the couch. And this was the perfect fuck couch, which I found out because I banged like 5 of a friend. Right. So it was where you were on your knees and she was just there and you just barely turned the hip down. And it was a perfect angle. So I could like continue a conversation.
Oh, yeah. No, that's my fucking couch. And
not like a hamstring or like, your knees hurting. It was like this.
Just straight kneeling position and just...
I mean, I could have talked about astrophysics at this point, right? And, the universe expansion and whatever. And everything was it was like a piston. I was like, this is great. So as we're doing it, I'm like, this is neat. And I went, well, yeah, if that's good. And she was like, good. And I went, well, if this is good, this is better. And I went, best. And she went, you want to come on my face? And I went, well, it depends on how you reference that. I mean, again, yes. And she was like, you want to give me a facial or whatever? And I was like, she was like, yeah, I've never done that, but I watch it on porn. It looks cool, whatever. And I went, oh. I was like, you may be my favorite person. Now the rhythm starts picking up and speed's picking up and whatever. So I, boom. And I was like, dude, you are fucking so cool. Like, I can't believe you're letting me fucking, and I'm like, fucking so pretty. And you're going to let me come on your face. And so I pull out, dude. I literally like Spider-Man shooting dual webs, like where he's just completely cocooned something. I'm like, it couldn't have been more epic. And I guess maybe the buildup of whatever, and I can't believe this is happening. And I don't know, I've been taking my vitamins or something. I don't know, but the internal bodily fluids were working wonderful. I pull out, and in a Spider-Man, rock star, fingers and thumb out, I go, just. I mean,
it's like a fire.
It almost went slow motion. It was yoing, and it wasn't like, I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but it happens to be my thing. If it's allowed, right? I'd never sneak it up on them, right? Because they seem to get mad about that one, right? I learned that one. But so it's just vroom, vroom, and I mean coming down the fucking side of her face, down her throat, and whatever. And and she's got her mouth, and she's enjoying it and blowing me while I'm fucking doing it, and I'm like, oh, I may not be the same after this, right? So I'm like,
is there a camera? Am I in a porno? What the fuck is that?
Yes, no, it was that epic. Like, I almost kind of wanted to like be watching this instead of doing it. Like, it was weird duality I was having with what was happening at this moment. And as I'm just, and I finish, and she's like, oh my God. And I went, yeah, that was incredible and hot. I can't move right now. Give me a second, right? I'll get you something to towel off, but, right? And she was like,
let me just sit here and enjoy this for
just a second, right? Mental snapshot.
Let me just log this for the memory.
So I get up and grab her a towel. I towel her off, and I'm just like, oh, you may be the best person ever created in life. Like, that was spectacular and whatever. And we high-fived because I'm a kid. I act like a 6-year-old after that. I'm like, oh, right, huh? That was neat with the stuff.
I'll give you that one. I've done that.
Right? You know, so
it was with a girlfriend and not just some random chick I was hooking up with.
No,
hey,
man.
Fucking high five. All right, I'm out.
Yeah, no, the high five, this is cool, you're an awesome person. So we do whatever, and boom, we pass out on opposite couches, right? So sleep, and I'm sleeping the sleep of angels. I'm really happy with myself, proud, happy, a lot of emotions going on with Jakey. So I wake up in the morning, and I'm like, oh, and she's on the other couch and like across from me, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, neat. So we're small talking in the morning, and she's like, wow. She was like, you know, you were a little rough on the. She was like, I'm sore, and I was like, oh. I was like, yeah.
It's a good sign.
I was like, sorry, I guess.
right.
It got me. I was like, dude, I don't even know words explaining whatever, but right on. Hey, right. This is neat. And she was like, yeah. She kept making like sexual references, and I'm like, don't do this shit to me. It's now like 11. We've slept till like 11 because we were drinking. I slept till like 11, and she's sitting there, and she kept making some form of reference, and I was like, I should still have cockiness and bravado for that. You are incredibly hot, and I should never have been allowed to ever have sex with you. Whatever, I look like Shrek. You let me in there, but I guess in the movie he hooks up with the princess. They don't just do the porn version, right? Or there's probably on anime somewhere. But so I was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. And I know I didn't finish anywhere near that area, right? So it's still in fine working order, right? Yeah. So I was like, wow, does it look rough or whatever? And I went over and I fucking, you know, and I look and I was like sore, huh? And she, and I went, oh, neat. I'm sitting there, boxers now begin to grow, and I'm like, dang. I was like, hold on. You know what? I remember this remedy I heard somewhere, you know. So I pull her drawers and I drop right down, pull her to the end of the couch, and she was like, what are you doing? She smacks the back of the couch or whatever, and I'm like, oh. And this story has relevance to what we were talking to a few minutes before we started this. But so boom, I'm going at it, right? I figure at best, at least I'm going to make her lady parts feel better because I guess I was kind of rough on him, and I guess we went at it a lot longer, which good job to me. Hey, yeah, so yeah. Boom, so I'm right, golf clap. So as I'm doing it, whatever, and she's like, oh, she was like,
friend emerges.
She was like, come here, right? And I'm waiting for that. Friend never came out, right?
No shit.
So I stand up, right? And I'm at probably 3/4 because there's something about being on knees and there. I mean, I'm there, but I still need a little, trombone. I still need you to, play the flute a little bit before we get ready to go, right? So I stand up. She starts, she's blowing me. I'm still sitting there doing whatever. And I'm just looking down, going, dude, die tomorrow. I'm totally cool. I just need today to tell people about this. What happened, right? So I'm doing whatever. And she was like, oh my God. She was like, fuck me. And I was like, are you sure? I thought you were sore. She was like, fuck me. I was like, okay, cool. I figure we've gotten to know each other. You let me come on your face. I put my penis within like an inch away from her vagina, and she's like, you got to get a condom. And I went, oh, why do I came on your face? I mean, that's got to be, there's got to be some I was like, really? And I went, oh, and I was like, she was like, go to your car now. And I'm like, damn it. So immediately boxers and wife beater, right? The same. Okay. I think it was still wearing boxers. I just had the boxers open. Like I didn't have to put anything on. They were just there, right? So to tell you how banged up and drunk I was the night before, I'm like, cool. I see my keys. I grab my keys. I open the door and I'm in the hallway and I went, where did I park? Ironically, I found it last night. I have zero recollection which hallway I go down to. I'm standing in the hallway and I'm like, oh, it's 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I've got wood and I'm in my boxers and wife beaters and it's wintertime. So I run down to one side. There's no parking lot. I went, yep, not there. Unless I parked on the lawn. So I run down, slipping on ice, do whatever. I'm like, please God, tell me I had more than one. Please God, tell me there we go. So I grab it, I run back in and whatever. And she's like, she was like, and I was like, shh, boom. I'm trying to take my popsicle penis now from being out in the snow. And it's not cold. It's like 15 degrees cold, right? So here, grab this. Or I think I just like went, pardon me, and went, like just went, here, this is going in your mouth real quick. I was like,
just warm it up real
quick. So put it on, we go at it again, right? So we go at it again and we get the exact same point we were last night. And I was like, can I pull? And she was like, you want to come on me again? And I was like, yes, please. And she was like, yeah, I guess, why not? fucking just, no, it's, God, you said yes, and it's great, and whatever, and we go, and I pull out, and I yoing, do whatever, finish again, not nearly as much of, volume as the night before, but finish.
You know what that is, though? It's hydration. Drink more water, though.
I was sleeping. I didn't have much time to hydrate. Pedialyte, though, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So finish that, do whatever, boom. But as we started doing that more often, right? Like it was every 5 to 7 days, I would hang out with her. I asked Chantel, was like, Jake, even Holly? And I went, oh, I may quit after Holly. It can't get any better than that, right? I was like, I there's nothing I can do to top this. And she was like, I can't. And I was like, well, it feels weird. I mean, like, look, she was really cool and really accommodating and whatever. I'm like, every Monday we would hang out. It was Monday Night Football. We'd go to my buddy's club. We'd drink. We'd do whatever. We'd go home and bang. And sometimes it'd be at my apartment. Sometimes it'd be at Chantel's. But it started becoming a regular thing. And I went, hey, I don't want to be a dick. Should I, ask her out or something? At least offer her a dinner? I'll get her a gift card. I don't give a fuck. Go eat with somebody else, right? If you don't want to be seen in public with me. But you seem to like having sex, or at least you keep doing it every week. Every Monday has become a thing. So, and she was like, you're a fucking idiot. Get her a gift card. I was like, I don't care. I'm appreciative. And she was like, I don't know. I mean, she's got a weird concept to this, but she should. You're a good guy. And I was like, thank you for still calling me a good guy if they've banged every one of your friends. So I was like, oh, and then I was like, hey, not to be weird or whatever. I was like, but are you just on a non-Monday or maybe earlier Monday? I'm like, do you want to hang out and do something? I feel like I'm being weird, not even asking, right? But I don't want to be weird either and get. And she was like, no, I kind of like what we have going on. She was in nursing school and doing this and whatever. And no, it's pretty cool. So if that's what you want to do, no, just Monday. Call me on Monday and we'll go have drinks, have sex. Every time after the first time, she started doing the weird grinder thing, where she would get on and rock back and forth like she was riding a rocking horse. And I realized, because she did like oral that much and she did like whatever, insertion wasn't her thing, right? Because, it's a little sore and a little whatever. So for her, it was definitely more, hence why going down and taking care of her business first, and even incorporating the circular thumb motion while doing whatever. But yeah, when she was really hammered and really wanted to do whatever, I had to sit for 12 minutes and her rocking horse and digging into, I'd wake up the next day and go to pee. Or I go to pee and I'm like, ow, why the fuck, my beaver pelt, my right above the tree stump is sore. And I'm like, ow, why does that? I was like, this is horrible. But she's hot and I'll let her do anything. I don't care if she just sat and, whipped out one boob in the corner. I'm like, you can live here. Just let me see your nipple. It was that cool. So, man, that's the grinder. Yeah. And I haven't had many grinders after, but I would let her do the grinding and whatever. Then I would begin to pick her up and have to use her as a...
To make one point, he's worse than me. Have you noticed this? And any of the stories he's ever told? Yeah. I'll make one point in conversation and I'll tell you an entire fucking story to explain it. Yeah. He's worse than me.
No, I may be the absolute worst. And that whole story getting up there was to tell you that she was the grinder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I couldn't just tell you, I had a grinder once, man, and it was crazy and whatever, and she ground a lot. Hey, so what kind of fluid do you want? No, you needed to know the whole build up to whatever, and then she was the grinder.
It's a good story.
It was a good story.
And that's the grinder.